Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to do soft sugar cookies. This was a request from Caitlin. So first of all, I'll show you my little recipe, which I got from my mother. It's 1,000,000 years old, so I had to write it down so you could read it. So we're going to do 5 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt. You mix those all together. Then you're going to add a cup of butter, and you're going to mix that real well. Then in another bowl, you're going to mix 3 eggs, a cup of milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You mix that together, then we're going to add that to the flour mixture. And then eventually you've got to knead in more flour, and we'll talk about that as we go along. And last but not least, you bake them for about 13 to 16 minutes, depending upon the size of your cookie. So let's get started. We're going to start with our 5 cups of flour. Whoa, I guess I got to get this. I pre-sift the flour just in a bowl so that it'll be nice and smooth. And then we're going to go ahead and put in 5 cups of flour. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. And then we're going to add our baking powder, which was 3 teaspoons. Wait a minute, we better do our sugar first. We got to get 2 cups of sugar.
One, 2.5.
2. All right, then we're going to get 3 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2. Grandpa, what's the next one? 3. All right, and also a half a teaspoon of salt. So there's that. Okay, we're going to mix all these together. I think most of you have made the sugar cookies before because I've given that recipe out. But here we go if you haven't. So we mix this together. Then we're going to add our cup of butter. And I like to let the butter sit out so it's soft. Makes it a little easier to mix it in. So this has been sitting out for a little while, so we'll put that in. And I'm sure all of you know that one of these equals a half a cup. So two little squares, 1 cup of butter. And I have my apron on because when I work with flour, I get it all over. So that's why there will be flour everywhere.
Turn it down.
And we got to get her mixed in. So we mix this in here. We'll let this sit and mix for a minute while we get out the milk and the eggs. So we have the 1 cup of milk. Put that over here. There's your 1 cup of milk. And then our 3 eggs.
One, 2, and there's 3.
And the last thing we add to this was the vanilla, which is 1 teaspoon of vanilla, which I always just use the cap for a teaspoon. And there we go. And then we're gonna just mix this. I'll put the eggs, the milk away. Then we can get started with the rest. Okay, so we've got this mixed in. We're gonna go ahead now and add this. You can see it's pretty sticky. We don't want you can't roll that kind of dough out. So we're just gonna add some more flour. This is, you just kind of have to guess on that. It's usually, oh, I don't know, maybe another cup altogether, but maybe a little more. It just depends. And in a minute, we're going to take it out of the bowl and actually knead it in by hand. Which I think we're about to that point. So we're going to move over to the bar, which we got the bar all cleaned off and wiped because we're going to work right on the bar. Get this off. See, it's still pretty sticky, but you can't roll that out very easy. Okay. So when we do it on the bar, I like to put a lot of flour right here where we're going to be working. Work it all in. And we'll just put this on the bar.
Cookie dough.
You don't get your fingers in it. It's no good. Okay, now we're just going to kind of mix this in a little bit till it's a little bit more workable. You don't want to get too much flour because then that makes the cookies pretty dry. I think we about got it here. Now we still need plenty of flour when we roll this out so it doesn't stick to your bar. And then I always flour up this thing, your roller. That helps not stick it. Then when I roll it out, you want it to be about 3/8 to a 1/2 of an inch thick to make these nice soft sugar cookies. All right, can you see about how thick that is? And then I usually use like a glass. And I always dip it in your flour and then just cut them.
You dip it in the flour after each
Yes,
time?
if you dip it in the flour, it keeps it from sticking. It just cuts easier and it doesn't stick. And Just makes it a little easier. Okay. You can make any size of cookies you want. Make great big ones, or you can make smaller ones. You can make heart shape like we do on Valentine's, or whatever else you want to make. So I think, how many have we got here? Ooh, we should have had the oven preheating. Let me go to the oven real quick. Because you want to preheat your oven to 350, unless you have a convection oven. And I found that if you use a convection oven, it sets it at 325, and I like to cook them better with that. They seem to do just a little better. But if you don't have that, it's 350. So we'll set that. We'll get out a cookie sheet there, and we'll spray it with our Pam. Okay, so then we're going to just put these little cookies on our sheet. We don't want to put them too close together because they kind of swell up as they cook. Okay, there we got one. So let's go ahead and I wish that we'd have preheated the oven, then we could have been ready to bake. Might need to just roll this a little thinner. Okay. Yeah, I hope that you guys love to cook and bake more than I do, but it's still pretty fun, especially when you're making it for grandkids. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, the husbands, they get the leftovers. Those scraps right there that nobody really wants.
Yeah, poor Grandpa. He gets the leftovers. Okay, so I think, and then of course, we can take this that's not been used, all of this, we'll just put this together and re-roll it. You don't want to do it too many times because the more you rework this dough, the tougher it gets. So they're not quite as soft as sugar cookies. You can see that dough's still pretty soft, but that's what makes the good sugar cookies. So we'll get one more pan here. And of course you can see this is why I wear a apron, is because I get it all over me. Okay, I think that that's not going to be ready to roll, so we might just stop the video until one of these get done, and then we'll come back and finish.
Okay, let me take you a little tour of the backyard here. See how pretty the lawn looks. There's one plant. Sweet potatoes. And there's that. There's the old deck. And there is the back lawn. Mark's snowmobiles covered up. There you go. Well, we'll see you later when the cookies are getting cooked.
Okay, we're back. We're ready to put in the oven. The oven's all preheated. And we're gonna go ahead and bake it. Alexa set the timer for 13 minutes. And then we'll come back.
Starting now.
We'll come back as soon as the timer's done and go from there. See you in a minute. Okay, your cookies are done. Get them out. Ooh. And I'm gonna put another batch in. Alexa set the timer for 13 minutes.
13 minutes. Starting now.
Now we're gonna put them onto this little cooling rack. And then we're gonna make some frosting. I didn't give you the recipe for the cream cheese frosting, but we can do that. Just a second here. They kind of swell up. Okay, so your cream cheese frosting is one package of cream cheese, 1 cube of butter, and powdered sugar and vanilla. So I'm only going to use a half because that makes a lot of frosting. So I think with this batch we're just going to do half a cube of butter and a half of cream cheese, and then we're going to use some powdered sugar. You probably are going to use, if you use a full cube of butter and a full thing of cream cheese, you'll probably use just about all of that powdered sugar. And then we're going to have some vanilla again. Maybe one and a little bit more of vanilla. This works out better if your cream cheese is a little bit soft. Whoa. Once again, we're glad we got the apron on. This butter was a little bit hard. Grandpa, what are we doing?
Yeehaw!
Oh. Okay.
Hang in there, it's about to get wild.
All right, I'm gonna add a little more of this. I almost think we're gonna have to add a little milk today. Get a little more of this in there, and I might add just a little teeny bit of milk. Just make it a little smoother. So not very much, but just a little. Okay. Let's see if that helps.
A little more?
A little more milk. Now it's starting to look more like what we want. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up here. Gotta taste it, see. Yeah.
Any good?
Yep, I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna do just a smidge more milk, not very much. We're gonna add some food coloring because they taste better when they're pink than when they're white. So let's just add a little bit. Alrighty, I think we've got some frosting ready. We'll see if the cookies are cool enough to frost. They're still a little bit warm. I think we'll give the cookies just a few more minutes and then we'll come back and frost them. See you in a minute.
Well, maybe I'll take you on another little tour of the front of the house and show you a couple of these kids here. Oh, now there's some there that are pretty cool. Yeah. There's those grandkids. Great grandkids. Cool. Show you Grandma's flowers here. Look pretty good. The old tree's getting taller. And even the pine tree's growing. There's Old Glory. No wind today. But it's fun. There you go. Stay away.
We're ready to frost cookies now. So we're gonna get a little frosting. We're gonna spread it on. And we have to add our little jimmies. And I like to put them in a bowl like this because it's just easier. And then just sprinkle a few on there. So, once again, here we go. We frost them. We sprinkle them. And there you have it. And I'm going to let Grandpa have the first bite. Just a minute, Grandpa. Well, okay. Okay, so here's Grandpa taking his first bite.
Looks good. Not too bad at all.
Okay, guys, there you have it. Soft Sugar Cookies 101. And remember, I love you all. And if you want more videos, tell us what you want us to make.